About 6 months ago, Wait and Pilkin made a video about the state of Rocket League on TikTok, as many creators have seen their most popular videos stolen, split into parts, and reposted by other accounts. It's our footage and our voices, and there's nothing we can do about it. Yes, it's sad to see unique works such as my Rocket League air show get millions of views on TikTok, but in the end, besides some undeserved followers, there's not really much being gained by these accounts. In this video, I want to talk about something that I think is a little more serious, and that is stolen content on YouTube. We're going to be conducting this investigation from my Office of Knowledge. Behind me is many books on YouTube policies, copyright law, and some of the best Rocket League ideas ever thought of. Now, I haven't read any of them, but I'm hoping having them nearby will help me harness their energy, much like surrounding your Minecraft enchanting table with books increases its power. Today, we're going to explore plagiarism within the Rocket League creator community, the difference between being inspired by a video versus straight out stealing it, and how one Rocket League YouTube channel has taken this to a new low you probably won't believe they're getting away with. Now, non-English creators copying or redoing content for their audience has been an issue on YouTube for a while, but I've only recently found out that it is something that affected Rocket League too. Last March, Leth called out an Italian YouTuber named Technoid for not just imitating these thumbnails made by his editor Danny Lotus, but actually stealing them, changing the color a bit, and slapping his own face on them, sometimes even flipping them without caring about the resulting backwards text. Now, you may think Leth would also have a case against Technoid basically redoing all of Leth's videos, but that's not actually considered infringement. Ideas are not able to be copyrighted, which may seem a bit scummy when you realize Technoid can get hundreds of thousands of views without coming up with an original idea himself, but the content that Technoid creates with the idea is unique. To be able to copyright an idea would limit all creative works. Thus, Road to GC and Guess the Rank and prank videos in Rocket League are all open to their own interpretations by different creators, and there's nothing wrong with that. Also, it's not uncommon to see video ideas from other games be reused in a Rocket League setting. Personally, I think putting your own spin on a concept should be fine, as long as your whole channel is not based on just redoing other videos. Now, one of the main regions that seem to thrive on rehashed content is South America. Now, this is a tricky subject. I don't want to come across as judging an entire region, but according to my friend and fellow content creator Frowsy Squirrel, who's from Uruguay, this is a common issue. So with his help, we're going to explore this a little further. Now, for example, we have Nene, a Spanish creator with the most creative channel. Yes, there's no limit to what he'll go to, up to redoing English content. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not saying that non-English creators aren't smart enough to come up with their own ideas. In fact, this is them having an intellectual advantage over us. You see, in other countries, it's not uncommon to know 2 or 3 languages. Meanwhile, in North America, we barely know 1. We couldn't steal their content if we tried. But those intellectual points are lost by the fact that they use the same thumbnails. Like, the only reason we're making this connection is we're matching up the pictures. If we had to go into these videos and read translated captions, we wouldn't bother. Most of us stopped reading right around the same age as our books stopped having pictures in them. Now, I will say, despite the similar ideas and thumbnails, Nene at least makes the content his own, and I was only able to pick out about 10 or 11 videos that I would say originated with other creators, which I guess is respectable considering recently I found out it could get a lot worse. This was brought to my attention when another creator named Shadow discovered that one of his own videos had been copied by a Portuguese-speaking YouTuber named Phallic. And when he looked into the channel further, he realized that Phallic was copying a lot of English videos, which is a bit surprising as I would expect someone who had enough of a grasp of English to remake our videos would maybe also consider picking a different name for himself. Now, as before, most of these are the same gameplay type idea redone with a very similar thumbnail, and once again, that's not technically infringement. Now, there were several of my videos that I identified, but one in particular stood out. It wasn't a modded game or experiment, it was scripted content, and sure enough, when I looked at it, it was my video covering several Bacchus-mod plugins recreated shot for shot, and as far as I can tell with translated subtitles, word for word. Besides giving the information about each plugin in my video, I made several personal observations about how things like ball path indicators and minimaps might be useful for newer players to get used to the game, especially if they're only available up until level 20. I even tacked on a part about a unique bugged training pack with multiple balls because I was running a contest with it at the time. In Phallic's video, he says the exact same things. Now, of course, he recorded his own footage for this, but this is like someone recreating a movie shot for shot, reusing the same script, and trying to call it their own. Now, there is one part that was ripped from my video, as this footage with the text in the corner was made by me, but I wouldn't win a copy strike against him as he's talking over it, thus making it transformative under fair use laws, despite the fact that his voiceover was technically written by me. Going back to Shadow, his recent scripted video on RLCS players that got banned suffered the same fate as mine, with it being completely recreated shot for shot and word for word. Now Shadow did try and copyright strike it, but with complicated situations like this, YouTube leaves it to the courts. Right now the video is taken down, so I can't show you a side-by-side comparison, but it will be back in a few days as you can see Phallic posting about his successful counter to the strike here. In a video about that strike, Phallic recently complained about being attacked by gringos and how him using publicly available footage to make a similar video was not wrong. And it does seem that on YouTube, he is correct. Unless someone wants to take him to court, there's not much you can do to stop this. But the delusions here cannot be ignored. When called out by Frowsy on Twitter, Phallic fired back with this attempt to catch Frowsy doing the same thing. But instead, he unintentionally provided a great example of how ideas can be shared and made your own. The only thing the same between these two videos is the words guess and rank. Well done, Phallic. Anyone should be able to see that having pros guess the rank from replay footage is very different from having YouTubers 1v1 players and try and figure out the rank. But maybe I'm wrong expecting a well thought out argument from someone who can't even think of his own video ideas. As you can see, Phallic ended up quickly deleting the tweet. And speaking of delusions, I was also amused to see Phallic's thumbnail artist proudly posting his copied work on Twitter, an artistic achievement that I would say is on the same level as being able to color inside the lines. In DMs with Shadow, this artist claimed he was paid by Phallic to be inspired by Shadow's thumbnail, and thus did no wrong. In the music industry, there's something known as doing a cover. Actually, Yesterday by the Beatles is the most covered song in history with over 2,000 versions. Yes, anyone is able to redo any popular song. But you know who gets paid if I release a commercial cover of Yesterday? Paul McCartney. Even if it's me playing the guitar and singing, it's not my song. And no, that doesn't change if I decide to sing in Portuguese. Yes, we're at the point where people are doing covers of our videos. Now you could argue that no English viewers are being stolen, as none of these people would have gone and watched the original anyways, but that doesn't make it right. Now as for how we combat this, I'm not really sure. I thought about maybe fighting fire with fire and I'd go into Phallic's channel to steal one of his original ideas, but then I'd have to wait around for him to have one. Over half of his channel is stolen or repeated content. Now the management company I'm a part of, Clover Talent, represents some of the biggest Rocket League YouTubers on the scene, and we've had discussions about maybe hiring translators and creating our own channels in these different languages. Thus, the copycats would see their video ideas dry up, as we could push our content into their region before they had a chance to make it. It's a decent idea, and until then, I guess all we can do is complain on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed this little rant. Please do not go into the socials or channels that I talked about today to complain or harass them. I said everything there is to say, and remember, according to the law, they're not even doing anything wrong. If you guys enjoyed this, please do let me know in the comments below, and check out this other content here, as it's guaranteed to be 100% facecam free. My name is Rocket Sledge. Thanks for watching.